Volkswagen is bringing the new Tayron to the dealership. Yes, and today in the video, I'll explain to you which equipment variants are available, which features are really worth it, which extras need to be on board, and of course, we'll drive all the models. We'll drive the TDI, we'll drive the e-hybrid, and the small TSI. Tayron is essentially the successor to the Tiguan Allspace, which was discontinued with the new generation. Yes, and why the new name? New name, more cash in the bank. It's now positioned a full class above the Tiguan, offering more value. Yes, 10 centimeters more in length, base price starting at 45,475 euros, and for that, it already looks really powerful. That's because it's just as big as the current Skoda Kodiaq. The 4.75 meter long tire rod is offered in a total of 3 different trim levels. The base trim has been omitted compared to the Tiguan. Here, it always kicks off with the live model as the starting point. Here we have the Elegance. For those who prefer a sportier look, they can opt for the R-Line, which is on par with our Elegance. By the way, we've already produced that video for you. If you'd like to check it out, just click right up here to watch it. Unlike the Tiguan, here we have not just a longer wheelbase, but also a significantly greater overall vehicle length. Yes, and we add 25 centimeters more. You'll especially notice that in the back, in the third row. Always standard LED headlights. For those who want to be the cool light show with the continuous illuminated grille and the glowing VW logo, they'll have to pay an additional fee on our Elegancer for the HD Matrix headlights featuring 19,500 individual LEDs per headlight. Volkswagen asks a fair 495 on top, and I definitely pay that because then the VW logo at the rear is also illuminated, adding that extra premium touch. For a bold and striking appearance, choose the R-Line, while the Life is more subdued, and the Elegance offers a polished and refined aesthetic. I have to say, I really like it. It looks fantastic, especially the grille with its chrome accents and that glossy black backdrop. It's truly striking. It looks truly premium, and for everyday use, it's highly practical and functional. The bumper at the bottom is simply black with a soft texture and a small silver accent strip. Gives it, I think, when it's just standing there, that typical new Volkswagen style, which of course we already know from the Golf 8. SUV and TDI, they really complement each other perfectly. In this lineup, you actually have the option to choose from 2 distinct diesel engines. Starting off with a 4-cylinder, 2-liter engine, 110 kilowatts, which translates to 150 horsepower. It's available as a front-wheel drive and would definitely be my personal pick. Then we have the top-of-the-line machine here, delivering even more power and enhanced performance for the road. Here we have the big TDI with 193 horsepower. It's always paired with a 7-speed dual-clutch transmission, complete with the 4Motion all-wheel drive system. That really pushes the price up quite significantly, because when paired with our Elegance trim, it starts at least at 58,785 euros. That you have to save even in this vehicle class becomes clear once again under the hood. Because the paintwork is truly missing here, we only have the basic insulation and the base coating applied. Yes, I actually find it a bit disappointing in grey at this price point. A total of 9 exterior paint options are available, all a bit more subdued. Yes, we of course have the ultimate showstopper here. We've got the ultraviolet on board now. That costs an extra 960 euros. There are a few other metallic tones as well, ranging from 810 up to our 960 euros. If you're looking to make a statement, then you go for Oryx White at 1,225 euros. Yes, and the base color is our classic Urano Grey. It's kind of a timeless neutral tone, free of charge. And what does the ultraviolet metallic remind you of? Exactly, it's just like the iconic and timeless color of the classic Golf 2 Fire and Ice Dark Violet Pearl effect, don't you think? Volkswagen makes it pretty easy for us with the wheels. The Leaf model always comes standard with a 17-inch aluminum alloy wheel. The Elegance comes standard with 18-inch wheels, and the Allen, of course, comes with 19-inch wheels. Optionally, you can upgrade the alloy wheels up to 20 inches. Right now, we have the upgrade only to 19 inches on board. Yes, with a 2.35 tire. Interesting thing, the rim here is 7.5 inches wide. If you choose the Elan rims, they come in at 8.5 inches wide, allowing for wider tires, specifically 2.55 instead of the usual 2.35. Compared to the VW Tiguan, not a single sheet metal part has been left the same. It has truly become a completely independent model. Yes, and particularly with this lighting signature, it looks very premium indeed. I think Volkswagen really puts a lot of effort into this again with the illuminated VW logo and the tailwind lettering. Yes, and what I actually really like is the textured plastic. It definitely doesn't look cheap at all. It appears very high quality, especially paired with this chrome trim. Yes, and overall it creates a very, very cohesive picture for me. For €960, you get the electrically swiveling tow bar, including the trailer assist. Yes, and compared to the predecessor, we've made significant improvements here, because if you have the large TDI on board in combination with the 4-motion all-wheel drive, you can now tow up to 2.3 tons. Welcome to the interior of the Elegantia. It looks noticeably different, far more elegant when directly compared to the R-Line model. With the materials, Volkswagen really puts in a lot of effort, but they have to, especially when you're shelling out almost €60,000 for our base model. Yes, what I really like, what looks truly elegant, are these wood veneers here. It's thin, real wood that's been inlaid here, and it looks absolutely great paired with the black gloss too. Of course, there's a standard 10-inch digital speedometer. The head-up display, however, you'll have to pay extra for that. Also, one level down, we've got genuine faux leather here with real stitching and a welt incorporated as a decorative feature. Yes, and a bit further down, it's of course hard plastic. What at first glance looks like a decorative seam turns out, upon closer inspection, to be a printed decorative seam, but it still actually looks quite nice. At least everything is soft to the touch. We have a backlit trim strip. We also have the piping featuring a genuine seam. We have faux leather here. We have a nice soft armrest. Yes, what I actually don't like, I have to say, is this huge cap behind the handle up here that secures the door panel. They could have done that more elegantly. What's much nicer are the padded compartments in the doors. The gear selector, introduced for the first time in the ID models, is also featured here and functions flawlessly. And what works really well, of course, are the actual buttons that don't rely on touch functions. Very classic push buttons that are simply a joy to use. For €2,600, you'll get the large 15-inch display, which is absolutely worth the investment. It is consistently available and ready for delivery when combined with the Discover Pro Max. Including the head-up display, it doesn't come without it, and I have to tell you, it's really a game changer. Personally, for me in this vehicle, the 12.9-inch version would be completely sufficient since the navigation software is on it. This upgrade to Discover Pro also costs an extra €1,360. The operation is super easy and smooth. Clearly, they've learned from past mistakes and equipped it with hardware that truly delivers outstanding, reliable, and seamless performance. You can see here, as I zoom in, how quickly it pulls everything in and out. The structure, it's genuinely intelligent, and it's remarkably straightforward to pick up and understand. So you don't need an IT studio anymore to get into it, to start here. Once you've configured your key and your phone, then everything is fully personalized and perfectly tailored to meet your specific needs and preferences. Honestly, I have to say, I'm really enjoying swiping through these menus here. It's a really neat thing. Volkswagen has done a great job here, and the tiles in this system, they've even gotten a little bit bigger. There you have the 15-inch double extra large version on board. An absolute must-have, the inductive fast charging function. Even if the phone stays in there the whole time, thanks to the built-in cooling system, it maintains a really comfortable and consistent temperature. The rotary dial for adjusting the volume and controlling the driver assistance systems feels almost like old news. It's something we're already quite familiar with from the Tiguan. Standard in the Live is a 10-color ambient lighting system, which you can easily customize across different levels to suit your preferences. Yes, and here starting from the Exclusive and in the R-Line, you get up to 38 colors. The seats in Elegance are available in two distinct configurations, offering flexibility in your choice. Once in Mistral Grey and now here in Sol Black. And I have to say, this would definitely be my top choice because it's a gorgeous microfiber material that feels wonderfully soft and comfortable to the touch. We've got synthetic leather on the sides, which is perfectly fine, and we've included a standard seat massage feature as well. If you opt for the leather package at €2,200, you'll automatically receive the Ergo Active seats in the Plus version as part of the upgrade. The massage function is a bit more sophisticated there. However, you'll then miss out on this cool feature. Thanks to 10 centimeters more wheelbase compared to the Tiguan, you have plenty of space in the rear. You just saw it, the seats can be moved in the flat position. I can adjust the backrest to make it a bit more comfortable for myself. On the left and right, I have ISOFIX child seat preparations. We have a 3-zone climate control system, and we have seat heating on the outer seats. If you're aiming for more headroom, the ideal choice would definitely be to go for the optional glass panoramic roof. Personally, I don't feel the need for it, but since we're taking a look anyway, and since we have the exclusive trim, not the R-Line, we also have a grey headliner. Unlike the Tiguan, the TAYRON can be expanded to include a 3rd row of seats. With that, it's on par with the Skoda Kodiaq. Yes, the handling is truly super easy, intuitive to manage, and very user-friendly overall. Simply fold it down, and that's all there is to it. Naturally, the trunk space is a touch smaller. If you decide to forgo the 3rd row of seats, which, by the way, costs an extra €950, you'll have a trunk volume of over 800 liters. This compartment is thoughtfully included below and slides in here seamlessly as well. On longer rides, however, you won't really last for very long back here. For the kids, that might be just fine. You can safely seat them in the back since it's genuinely very, very cozy. On the road in the 193 PS TDI. Well, what can I tell you? The first few meters were incredibly relaxed, driving from the airport to our location. And I started in comfort mode. And somehow I just ended up sticking with comfort mode the whole time. Because this is the driving mode he likes the most. It smoothens everything out so elegantly. It's really a driving experience that comes close to the Touareg level, especially in combination with the acoustic glazing. It's incredibly quiet inside. You barely notice any tire rolling noises. They're almost completely absent. The wind noise around the mirrors is extremely minimal, even on the highway. So it's really impressive what this thing filters out here, and you really only hear it when I actually roll down the window, and then you really notice the outside noise. 193 horsepower are completely sufficient in terms of performance. It obviously doesn't turn it into a race car, but it moves along briskly. You can accelerate smoothly. However, it should be noted that, as in the Tiguan and Passat on the new MQB Evo platform, the transmission tuning is very, very geared towards low RPMs. It shifts up extremely early, that's why driving it in S mode feels a bit more enjoyable and engaging overall. It just sticks to the throttle much better since it doesn't let the engine RPM drop as sharply. But when accelerating, you definitely notice the vehicle weight. We have a curb weight of 1,981 kilograms in our Elegance model, combined with the 4Motion all-wheel drive. If I now have a road like this one here, I can easily go ahead and activate the travel assist. Then it automatically steers me around the curves. I just need to give a slight countersteer here and there, really minimal. Hands remain on the steering wheel, but even on these winding, twisty roads, it functions absolutely flawlessly and smoothly. It's really impressive how the new multifunction camera up top works, keeping everything in view. Yes, and there's also the travel assist feature, which actively taps into the swarm data available here. The lanes driven by preceding Volkswagen models are recorded and then smoothly integrated into the system here for enhanced functionality. And that works even on roads with poorer markings because it simply uses the vehicle ahead for guidance and adapts seamlessly to the situation. The travel assist itself is fairly reasonable in terms of price. The upgrade costs €1,030. It should always be on board. Don't do yourselves the disservice of ordering a new vehicle and leaving it out. It's simply great. It's a fantastic system that shouldn't be missing in any modern vehicle. Unfortunately, I have to say, it doesn't stop at the €1,030. You currently have to tick an additional box in the configurator. and that's for the Discover radio navigation system. The Discover Pro, that's the model equipped with the 12.9-inch display screen. It then, of course, also includes the 360-degree camera system and a few other cool features. But in the end, it does drive the price up a bit again. The visibility is good. You can see everything. It's all clear. The mirrors don't block. The A-pillar stands quite upright. The windshield's quite small. You can see the hood clearly. So your overall view is really good. But you can definitely sense from the vehicle's width that you're sitting in something that's practically brushing up against the 5-meter mark. The length towards the back as well. It's manageable, but thanks to the camera system, it's much easier to handle. Especially when parking, you really notice the length of 4.75 meters. It can occasionally be quite tricky to find a suitable parking spot. If the garage at home is too narrow, there's no need to worry. We've got the memory park feature on board, which enables the car to smoothly and automatically reverse into its most recent parking position. If you've saved your driveway and garage at home, it handles the parking automatically for you. This is always included as standard in the parking package. I've taken a seat on the standard seats, by the way, with the standard massage feature included. And I've got to tell you personally, it's completely enough for me. I would absolutely save myself the extra expense for the large Ergo Active Pro seat or Plus seat, because this feature here, this massage function, is completely sufficient. What I like is that the leg rest on the driver's seat is extendable, because for me personally, when it's extended for long distances, it's just a bit too short. But this way I fit in here perfectly. I really have everything perfectly in view. The center armrest is easy to adjust. The only thing that bothers me a little is the distance down here to the door shelf. I find it a bit difficult to find a good position there. If I just want to hold the steering wheel with 2 fingers and cruise loosely, my arm might be a little too short. Unfortunately, it's not included in the big DCC Plus package. The progressive steering, you'll have to add that separately here in the Elegance trim. It's not standard there. I think it's included in the R line. If you're sure about that, just drop me a note in the comments below. It's still pretty astonishing how dynamically you can take corners with a nearly 2-ton SUV, even at higher speeds and with such ease. So this is genuinely enjoyable, and especially when paired with the quite comfortable suspension and the overall relaxed basic setup, it's a really nice and effortless driving experience. The sport driving mode, however, I would simply rename it to normal. Really good and very stable brakes. We've got a 17-inch setup installed right on the front axle here. We have internally ventilated discs on the rear axle as well. Combined with the electric brake booster, you'll always have a precise and reliable pedal feel, a reliable braking performance that you can really modulate well. And you definitely need that after all. You can actually hook up over 2.3 tons once more here at the rear, and then when combined with your vehicle's overall weight and load, then you're easily over 4 tons. So you're definitely going to need proper brakes for that. And of course, those are now always included with the TAYRON. Volkswagen states the consumption at 6.7 liters, which is genuinely very impressive, to say the least indeed. I've been driving at 9.8. But it's worth mentioning that we've been navigating these winding roads up and down quite briskly several times now. But I have a remaining range of over 600 kilometers with a not entirely full tank, 640 to be precise. I think if it's fully tanked, you can easily manage 700 to 850 kilometers on just one single full tank. Completely without electric assistance, that's the classic TSI. There are a total of 3 versions available here. The base engine with 150 PS as an ETSI, equipped with a belt-driven starter generator, just like you know it from the Golf. Positioned above that are the 2-liter TSI engines, consistently paired with a dual-clutch transmission system. They deliver 150 kilowatts, which is 204 horsepower, and the top version, that one has 195 kilowatts or 265 horsepower, which is comparable to the new base GTI engine. You can already tell by the seats, of course. Here, we now have the large Ergo Active Plus seats. With ventilation and the extensive massage function, they're naturally pretty awesome to sit in, offering top-notch comfort and support. But for the off price, I definitely save the cash. Instead, it's worth considering whether to invest that money into upgrading to a larger, more powerful engine. Well, right now I've got the 2-liter TSI with 195 kilowatts under the hood. That's the exact same engine you'll find in the standard Golf GTI model, just to give you a clearer picture of it. Yeah, and what can I say? It really takes off in a completely different way compared to the hybrid and feels nothing like the diesel, no doubt about it. It's really snappy. Maybe it's not quite a Taycan R, but it's damn close to heading straight in that direction. It's really quick, it's very responsive on the throttle, especially now in gearbox mode S and the sport profile. It's a lot of fun, you really have to say that, and it brakes incredibly well too, with impressive stopping power. Here you've got a really awesome bite point. I mean, the setup is just already a completely different ballpark compared to the other two I've driven so far. So, as you can see, this thing really moves forward at a solid pace. If you're after some serious action, grab the R Lite and the big TSI. Definitely a recommendation to buy from me at this point. The power delivery is just on a whole other level. You can really rev it out beautifully at the top. Yes, and that's where this liveliness comes from, which unfortunately the TTI lacked a bit, despite having high torque. The third drive technology, the plug-in hybrid, is also not left out of the lineup. It is available in two power levels with a system output of 150 kilowatts and 200 kilowatts respectively. Essentially, these two units differ by their combustion engine. Always on board is a 1.5-liter TFSI, which delivers 110 kilowatts in the smaller plug-in hybrid and 150 kilowatts in the larger one, resulting in the different system outputs. The 19.6 kilowatt-hour battery is being charged. A 126-kilometer electric range is anticipated to be quite impressive indeed. Here, over the charging port in the fender, is the Type 2 connector with 3 phases, meaning 11 kilowatts. When speed is absolutely essential, it also charges via CCS at a maximum of 50 kilowatts. The best of both worlds, the plug-in hybrid. Equipped with its sizable 19.6 kilowatt-hour battery, Volkswagen estimates a driving range of 126 kilometer. Right now, at 97% charge, I don't have that range showing here. But at least my display indicates 86 kilometers purely in electric mode. That's a top value, the kind of range you can realistically drive every single day. You can commute to work, drive back home, all electric, and charge either at home or at your workplace. It's really a statistically proven everyday commuting distance. The distance most people don't even come close to covering in their daily driving routines. So you've still got plenty of range left. Yeah, how much electrical power do we actually have on board? So we have 115 horsepower here. They're installed in the form of an electric motor that's seamlessly integrated between the engine and the 6-speed dual-clutch transmission. Yeah, since this electric motor is the one handling all the gear shifts, smoothly moving from first all the way up to 6th gear, you naturally have a significantly more torque than you would have with the direct drive system of an electric motor, like you do in a conventional electric car. Here you can also feel the gear shift slightly in the E mode when it kind of shifts up a notch. But it's completely fine, it drives really well. Yeah, and the real strength of course truly shines here when combined with our acoustic glass technology. It's really extremely quiet. The hum of the CDI is completely gone. So it's genuinely a lot of fun, and if I really want to have some fun here, I just hit the gas and then the combustion engine kicks in. If I'm not currently in E mode, the system switches on and then I gain an additional 150 horsepower. You can hear it now. It kicks in, and here in my system, in my specific model, I end up with a combined system output of 204 horsepower in total. That is 150 kilowatt system output. It might not sound particularly spectacular at first, but combined with the electric boost, it's absolutely more than sufficient. If you're after more, just choose the larger plug-in hybrid where the combustion engine delivers 177 horsepower. Yes, and then you already have a system output of 272 horsepower, making it the absolute top model of the series. Our very good but by no means fully equipped TAYRON ultimately comes with a list price of 69,000 euros, which is quite competitive for its class. €400. Take a deep breath, right? It's a significant amount, but what you're getting in return is an incredible car with a truly outstanding design. Significantly more space than in the Tiguan. If that's what you need, you can't overlook this one here. However, you might want to consider if the Touareg wouldn't actually be the better choice for you in the end, because it's only 4,000 euros away from our model. You know, the Touareg not only offers more space, it also provides completely different technology, completely different engine options. I hope you still enjoyed the TAYRON. I'd be thrilled if you subscribe to the channel, hit the bell, and be sure to tune in again for the next exciting episode. Thank you, ciao, and farewell, TAYRON.